He had humble beginnings with his father as a coal miner and his mother was an immigrant. And he's never forgotten where he came from. And he never has forgotten the ordinary struggles that people have every day in their lives. And what he, I think, has defined his public career has been the fight for ordinary people. He is the voice for the voiceless. And he fights for what he believes in and what he knows is ultimately right.
Throughout his career, Tom Harkin has been a champion for many causes on a range of issues. Tonight, we honor him for his leadership to help people with disabilities and chronic conditions. Among his numerous legislative accomplishments, he authored the Americans with Disabilities Act, fought to expand people's access to health insurance, and to protect their rights when they became ill.
He was a strong supporter of the Family and Medical Leave Act and the Patient's Bill of Rights. He did everything he could to help us pass health care reform. And if the bill he was working on had prevailed 20 years ago, we'd be in better shape today. I think his work even today is important because he really made us all aware of this pre-existing condition problem long before it was commonly understood. That's something that people who care about lupus can really appreciate, that now you can get, without discriminatory pricing, access to health insurance.
He had a brother with a disability. He felt sorry that his brother couldn't participate in society like everybody else, like him. People don't appreciate that until 1990, you could be denied a job because you had a disability. Openly, legally, you could do that. And so he was passionate about it, wanted to make a difference for his brother and make a difference for the rest of us. That passion is what made it successful.
Senator Tom Harkin's contribution to the Disabilities Act was vital. He was instrumental in making the act probably one of the most important and enduring pieces of legislation that has been passed in many, many years.
I now have a cousin who's got a son who's a hemophiliac, and I've got other, sister-in-law who's dealing with MS, and all of these different laws that are there to protect them, to make sure they have the resources they need. This is where government matters. This is where politics matters and legislation matters.
Tom Harkin understands that the United States must remain the world's leader in biomedical research. His efforts have supported advances in science and medicine that will lead to an improved quality of life for all people around the world.
He led our ability to double the National Institute of Health budget. We did wonderful work in biomedical research. He drove all that.
Dealing with biomedical research, I don't believe there's anybody that's worked harder, has been more purposeful in what they're trying to do to fund NIH, because he sees the results of what money we spend through NIH. My wife is a lupus survivor, and we've known that for a long time and worked in the area, but Tom Harkin has been a champion of this area too. And we've had a lot of breakthroughs there.
Senator Harkin often used an analogy when he talked about medical research. He said, picture 10 doors. The cure for a disease is behind one of those doors. Now, if we open one door, we have a 1 in 10 chance of finding that cure. If we open 2 doors, twice as good a chance, but still just 2 out of 10. But if we can open 5 doors, or 6 doors, or 7 doors, now we've really got a chance. And so much of what Senator Harkin did on the Appropriations Committee was try to get enough money to researchers to open as many doors as possible.
Tom Harkin believes America must have the world's most robust public health system, staffed by well-trained and well-equipped professionals that provides equal access to quality health care for everyone.
He had a particular interest in women's health, and he was very interested in health disparities. Very important to him that women's health was treated equally to men's health, and that all Americans received an equal chance. If you have a disease and people are living with it, it's important that practitioners recognize those diseases. And that's one thing that Senator Harkin often talked about, is the importance of the medical profession, healthcare practitioners, recognizing diseases. And lupus is sometimes hard to detect.
The interesting thing about Tom is, and I think one of the things that made him such a great legislator, he never said no. Like, it was never the first thing out of the box. Tom always listened and was open-minded. And so maybe the next day or a week later, he'd say to a few staffers, you know, remember that group that came in about, I think we should look into that. Let's see what we can do there. Is NIH doing any research on it? And I think when you're a person or an advocate and you come to see someone and they're open-minded and listening and then going to take action on it, well, I just think that's enormous to people. And it's really the quintessential Tom, because he gives people hope.
When Tom Harkin leaves office in 2015, after more than 40 years of public service, he will be able to look back at a career filled with extraordinary accomplishments. He will be remembered for the many ways his efforts have helped to improve all facets of life for millions of people worldwide.
An intelligent man who really does care. He was always a person who looked for finding common ground. And yeah, that's pretty good right there. That's the mark of a great senator.
I think in the area he'll be remembered for a lot of things, but he will be remembered a lot for biomedical research and the leadership that he's shown there and what he tried to do with the NIH and other, the Center for Disease Control and other things that have made people's lives better, have saved lives, and will save lives in the future.
First of all, that he was a champion of science and technology in a way that benefited ordinary people. Second, that he fought for the economic interest and well-being of average Americans. Thirdly, he was a great political leader. He never let partisan differences keep him from making a deal that would advance the causes he believed in. So that he was outspoken, progressive, always doing everything he could, but he also realized that every day he had to try to do something, even if it was less than he wanted, to make the world a better place. And he did it. Every day he was in public life for all those years, he did it.